There's a special kind of pride that you feel deep down inside, a strength that seems to thrive in Lima, Allen County.
The American way of life, to get in gear and do what's right.
An unbreakable forthright link called Real American Strength. Lima, Allen County, Real American Strength.
Forever moving forward without forgetting where we've been.
Creativity meets technology, where possibilities never end.
Ohio's strong Midwestern know-how, exploring innovative ideas.
Deep-rooted but always growing, ever proud of where we live. Lima, Allen County, Real American Strength.
Keeping you up to date with what's happening in your community. Community Focus on GTV2.
Thanks for joining us today on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker, and Doug Durliat is here today from the West Central Ohio Manufacturing Consortium. And if you're looking for a job, Doug is the guy to turn to because he's got some training. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Anne. And we've got another basic manufacturing pathway class. It'll be the last one of this fiscal year. It'll begin on Monday, the 9th of July. It'll finish up on Friday, the 20th. Slightly different format from what we've had in previous ones, which have been Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These will run strictly afternoons, 1:30 to 5:30 p.m., Monday through Friday. So you finish up in 2 weeks instead of 2.5 weeks.
Good deal. And what kind of training is this giving people?
Some basic math, some general manufacturing terminology, learn a little bit about some quality, just-in-time manufacturing, lean manufacturing, things along that line. We have officials from Rhodes State College come in and walk them through the FAFSA application process to see if they qualify for Pell Grant money or other financial aid, and that might encourage them then to pursue some additional training, which is what the manufacturers are saying you need. There's some high-skilled jobs out there. If you look at the classifieds, if you look online, there are a lot of manufacturing jobs, and the thing of it is, it's going to require more than just a high school diploma or a GED. You need to have something beyond that.
And you can help them with that?
This could be a good starter for people, and it's at no cost, and it gets them acclimated to the kind of math you're going to see, get them acclimated to a lot of the terminology, just get them familiar with some basic manufacturing. And then from there they can take the next step up and get some more technical training, whether it be at Rhodes State College, Apollo Career Center, or any of the other local colleges or post-secondary institutions.
Rhodes has applied for a number of grants which could help further their training after this.
Correct. There are 3 pending at Rhodes State College right now. One pertains to food processing, which is pretty good for this area. There's a number of food processors in Lima and the surrounding counties. Another one, which is pertaining to the automotive industry, there's a certification program that is being endorsed, I guess for lack of a better word, by both domestic and foreign automakers such as Honda, Ford, General Motors. And if Rhodes gets the grant to that, they could be adopting that, which gives a person in that training program the portability. If you'd like to pursue some employment from, let's say, Ford to Honda, it would be recognized by both.
But the first step is the basic manufacturing class, and that they need to be signing up right now if that's starting July 9th, correct?
Right. Well, we're taking registrations right now, and for a lot of people, if you've been out of school for a long time, you think you might need some refresher for the math and the other things that go into manufacturing, this would be a good program. And again, it's an investment in time. It costs nothing.
And can you help them find a job when they're done with this?
We do give them referrals. And then they get other kinds of information of other programs. There's job fairs, there's a job hunt and boot camp, as they call it at Rhodes State College. There's a number of programs that you can take advantage of that we give you information on. Another example, down in St. Mary's, they just got this underway. This was math for machinists, and it was sponsored by the ABLE program in Mercer and Auglaize County. No cost, but it's a 2-night a week for 10 weeks, and it gets them a step up on the kind of math that you're going to see. It gets them acclimated for CNC machining type of math. And again, it's an investment in your time. There's no monetary cost to pay for it.
And it's certainly an investment in your future, too.
Well, it gets you more competitive for the manufacturing jobs that are out there. And that's probably one of the biggest myths that are out there. They keep saying that manufacturing is disappearing, it's dying, but it's not. It's just taking a different form, and you just have to be more technically trained to get into manufacturing.
And if people do want that training, how do they get in touch with you?
Just give me a call at my office, 419-995-8353.
Okay. You also have a continuous improvement program that's coming up.
For employees of companies, this is in the realm of quality, and these are programs which are 1 day per month. It's the second Tuesday of the month from 8 to noon at Rhodes State College. There is a cost for that. There's discounts for consortium member employees, early bird discounts, multi-employee discounts, but the base price is very, very affordable compared to what you can get if you travel out of town, out of state, as many companies do to get this kind of training. And we have a Six Sigma certified trainer who gives you a lot of the ins and outs on just how you better organize your company, how you troubleshoot better, set up a plan, and how do you identify whether it's a serious problem or a not so serious problem. Take different action depending on the level of seriousness.
So it looks like the next one is coming up July 10th. Tools to assist in continuous improvement.
And that goes back to what we were just saying. It gives you some things that you take back to the office and you can just apply to your workplace and make you a better run organization.
And do they contact you again if they want to sign up?
They can, or they can contact Solutions, but just for the sake of convenience, just 419-995-8353.
Okay, we've got a lot of great programs coming up, and I know you'll be back in the future to talk about the next year's programs as well.
Well, if these grants come through, there will be a lot of things to talk about.
Let's hope. It's an investment for the community as well.
Correct.
Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thanks, Ann.
You're welcome. Doug Durliat from the West Central Ohio Manufacturing Consortium. When we come back, we'll give you all the details about this year's Star-Spangled Spectacular right after this on GTV2.
Reduce, recycle, reuse. Allied Waste Services in the City of Lima encourage you to live green by recycling all that you can. Recycling promotes green living by reducing the amount of waste materials buried in landfills. This saves money, natural resources, and energy. Keep our environment healthy and start recycling today. Allied Waste Services is committed to a clean environment. Contact us today for your recycling needs. Visit our website, republicservicesohio.com, to learn more about recycling today.
My joints ached and I was always tired.
I was always cold, I couldn't concentrate, and my body hurt all over.
My doctor told me I had lupus. Women of childbearing age, and especially African American women, are at higher risk.
If you suspect that you have lupus, you should contact your doctor.
You're invited to attend the local lupus support group meetings on the second Thursday of each month at 1 o'clock at Lima Towers. For further information, go to connectedhands.org.
We're back on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker, and Ric Stolly is here today from Lima's Parks and Recreation Department, and everything is up and running for the summer.
We are up and running. We are very excited about another great summer. Last time we were here, we talked about some of the initiatives that we're getting ready to get started. Well, we are now in the second or third week of a number of programs and getting close to wrapping up some of the ones that we started earlier in May.
So, already?
Yes. Baseball and softball, we're winding down towards the end of this month. We'll be entering tournament play here in the next week or so. So those youth baseball and softball teams have been playing since the early parts of May when school was still going on. We'd like to get those wrapped up so that we're done around the 4th of July. And the kids can have at least 2 or 3, 4 weeks of summertime with family to take vacations and do the things that they really enjoy doing, and getting out, visiting family and friends in different parts of the country. And so we'd like to wrap it up just right around the 4th, and then they can want to do those things because football starts at the end of July.
No,
Major
already?
football and all the activities that go with that. So the playground program is in its second week, and we had a great first week. The sites are filling up rather nicely, and the kids are very busy with all kinds of playground activity. We got some field trips planned to different colleges and in the area, and different events that they're going to attend. And we're still working on a couple of other things towards the end of the summer, and it will all wrap up here, I think, the 3rd of July. So.
Okay. Pool's open?
Pool is open. And what a great...
thank goodness, too, as hot as it's
this
been.
week is going to be something else. And we've had 2 real nice weekends, and then last week was just a great kickoff during the week. The weather was just perfect for a lot of pool activity, and folks are signing up for pool rentals, coming out and wanting to, we offer from 7 to about 9 or thereabouts to, if you want to come in and bring your group in and enjoy a couple hours at our close. Or you can even come in during the day if you want to bring a group and during regular pool hours and have a section, for yourself in your event, a birthday party or a family get-together, and enjoy the pool and the pool setting. So those opportunities exist for people in the Lima community as well.
What a great idea.
It is. It is. And, we got such a great staff all the way around. We've been very blessed with the kids and the adults we've hired for the summer and these activities. So we're looking forward to people getting out and enjoying them.
Well, you've got tennis this summer as well.
It's a great partnership we've had for years with LATA, Lima Area Tennis Association, and they started just last week in their first sessions, and it's Tuesdays and Thursdays over at College Street, and what a great group of volunteers they have, local area tennis players. And Hannah does a terrific job with orchestrating all that. But I got to get out and speak with that group last Thursday, and they have the youth. I'm trying to remember the ages, 8 to 17, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then they have a special event this year with youth 4 to 8, 4-year-olds to 8-year-olds.
I bet that's fun.
They're calling it the Pee Wee Tennis Division, and they meet from 9 to 9:45 on Thursdays. So the regular session is I'm thinking 10 to 11:30, 10 to 11, and then if you want to stay a little bit longer for the more advanced players, they can stay for an extra half hour to get a little more instruction. But it's primarily for beginners. And they get a chance to get out and, tennis, like golf, is a game you can play long into your, later years. So it's terrific that LATA and their volunteers put this together for the youth of Lima, and have done so for many, many years. So we're just very, very, very pleased to be a partner with that, and a great organization in that event.
As if the tennis weren't enough, and the pool, and the parks program, and you've got the baseball and the softball, and gearing up for football. The big party is actually coming right up on July 4th that you're also gearing up for.
July 4th, it always, we plan year-round. There's a great group of volunteers that work very hard on that Star Spangled Spectacular throughout the year. And our working committee chairs, with the primary sponsors, with the City of Lima, your hometown stations, St. Rita's, Superior Federal Credit,
Lima
and
News.
Lima News. Those 5 main sponsors of the event, we meet year-round, and we meet with different groups like the race committee. We meet with security. We meet with the different, the ride committee. All those things and then we start meeting, in February, March, with the rest of the committee and pulling it all together. For what's going to be another terrific 4th of July for the city of Lima and our surrounding communities, because Zambelli's back. They have been our fireworks provider for the last, I think this is our 19th year. So we've got some special things planned for down in the bowl. Last year we surprised some people who got to the bowl with some low-level things. We're looking forward to some different things are going to happen this year at the Star Spangled Spectacular. Some of the mainstays are back, like the symphony. We're going to have other different types of entertainment on the main stage and on the pavilion stage throughout the day. Of course, our Wobble Baseball All-Star Game, and then the Abilities League game that takes place in the morning, the race, which is at 9 o'clock. So just a great opportunity for people to get out and enjoy 4th of July. The Parks and Rec are going to host a kickball tournament. There'll be 2 divisions this year, one for families and the other one for the more competitive groups, and then the sand volleyball, which will start a little bit earlier so we can keep space open up for some of those special fireworks that we're looking forward to again this year.
Is the fishing derby back again this year?
This year we are not doing the fishing derby this year. This is there's so many people enjoying the fountain and the children's splash pad up there. We are looking forward to getting that back in the lineup for 2013.
Okay.
We are taking the year off with the fishing derby. We'll look forward to getting it back very soon.
What time does the Star Spangled Spectacular begin?
Well, the race starts at 9, and there's different events going on. Volleyball is going to start about 9 as well. We have abilities softball league that takes place on Diamond 2, starts about 8:30 in the morning, and then we have the race goes to about 10:30, and they get through the wrap up. The concessions will open up about 11, and kickball will start at noon, and then the day is really well into it, culminating with the fireworks starting at 10 p.m.
You're going to have literally tens of thousands of people coming in for this.
We really do.
Where do they park? Where do they go?
Well, we use the cemetery parking lot there at the bottom of North Shore and Cole, where they come together. Neighborhood parking. We also use St. Rita's, which has been a great partner with us, and shuttle people down with our friends from RTA. They will bring busloads of people down to the event right there at the corner of College and North Shore. They'll drop people off. There's also handicap parking at the west end and down around Diamond 2, and we'll have a shuttle from there bringing folks into the bowl. So each year we try to improve that, and everyone talks about, oh, it's so hard to get in and get out. It really isn't. And the more you talk to people, I was home in 15 minutes. And we get help from surrounding agencies to direct traffic out of the Front Park area at the end of the event. And when you think about it, you bring in, like you said, 30, 40, 50,000 people into that bowl area for the day. And we get them in there, get them out, and all in a very safe and organized manner.
Well, and you don't have to rush out the second the last firework goes off. Stick around and have fun. Enjoy your friends.
And some people do that. In some of the parking areas, they enjoy sitting around and just relaxing before they get out, get into traffic, and head back home.
Okay.
And we encourage that because it helps everyone. It really does.
Anything else we need to know, Rick?
Oh, I'm sure there is. The Warriors football action's going on at the stadium. We're happy to be a partner with them with their new club. Partnering with the
Locos too.
And the Locos, their season's well underway, and they're going to be playing a doubleheader on the 4th of July, starting about 3, and their second game will start up around 6, I guess. So and there's a lot of people that come to watch, that activity, and then stick around and watch the fireworks. So. We're having a great, both teams are off to great starts, the Locos and the Warriors, and we're just glad to be a part of those events as well. So we're busy, but, if that's okay. We're trying to be, with all that going on, we're still trying to maintain nearly 400 acres of land with a great group of maintenance people that are out working and hustling to keep, our parks as nice as they possibly can be.
With a smaller budget than you've been used to.
Yes, believe it or not. But, doing a little bit more with a little bit less has been the mantra. And we've talked about this, started back in last year, when the budget was being put together. And our commitment has been, and always will be, we'll do the best we can with the resources we have available to us, and providing Lima a terrific recreational opportunity in and out of the park. So that's what we want to make sure we do and do the best of our ability.
Well, Rick, you and your crew are doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for that.
Thank you.
If people want more information, give us your phone number.
Yes, you can contact us at the office at 221-5195, and we're there from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Okay. Speaking of doing more with less, Lima's finance director is coming up next, Steve Cleaves, and he's going to talk about capital improvements right after this on GTV2.
Lima City Council has recently amended the city's vicious dog ordinance to deal with potential problems concerning dangerous dogs in the public.
The ordinance is comprehensive. However, here are some key elements that all dog owners and their neighbors should be aware of.
Any dog that is considered a breed of pit bull is considered a vicious dog regardless of its temperament.
A vicious dog is any dog that attacks, bites, or causes injury to a person or domestic animal with or without provocation.
not under control of the owner and secured with a muzzle and a leash of 6 feet or less in length, all vicious dogs must be confined when outside in a pen with a secured top and bottom, or with the sides of the pen embedded at least 1 foot deep into the ground.
If you're a dog owner and have concerns about any dogs in your neighborhood, visit limapolicedepartment.com to find out more about the city's vicious dog ordinance.
The fine for non-compliance is $150 per citation, and ignorance of the law is not a defense.
If there's an emergency situation, call local law enforcement for immediate assistance.
Oh, good. A family wants to live here. It's been so long since I've had kids in my bedrooms. Wait, what's wrong with them? I love kids. Well, you can't find anything wrong with them. They look nice and so polite. No, nobody's ever going to live in me if you keep turning people away.
Been denied housing? Call the Lima-Allen Council on Community Affairs. Our fair housing services will look into the complaint at no cost to you.
We're back on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker. The City of Lima is looking to borrow more than $1.3 million for capital improvements. Here in the studio today to talk about it is Steve Cleaves, Lima's Finance Director. Thanks for being here.
I'm glad to be here, Anne.
First of all, tell us what you're looking to borrow the money for. What kind of equipment?
Well, we've had a fairly constrained capital program for at least the 10 years I've been here, at least the funding from the general fund. I'll be showing an exhibit that shows that although the general fund has been has put in a little over $4 million over the past 10 years, that's not a whole lot of money, that there's another 40+ million which has come from grants and leveraging. A lot of that comes from the block grant program and the management of those grants by that department. So thanks to that leveraging, we really have had almost $50 million worth of capital purchase in the last 10 years. But still, that is not enough to keep our capital stock in the condition that we would like to have it in. Now, we had severe restraints on our budget during these past 10 years, and we have pulled our manpower down and our labor costs down and our overtime costs down. And we are now in a situation where we have a balanced budget. Our cash reserves are at a level which is typical for a city with our bond ranking. Our bond ranking has increased because of the improvements that we have made over the years. So we went basically from pretty close to a basket case, and we were trying to get tax increases to keep us from going into default, to where we are really in solid shape, I would say, on a nationwide basis. In the state of Ohio, we would be, and especially in this part of the state of Ohio, we are, I think, stronger than most other cities. But we do need to increase our capital stock. We are able to do so. If we borrow about $1.3 million for general fund needs, it'll cost us between $130,000 and $140,000 a year in bond payments. So what we're proposing is to commit to pay off this bond. It'll have about a 10-year life at about, depending on the interest rate, which we expect to be 2.5% or lower. That'll run us somewhere between $130,000 and $140,000 a year, and I think we can well afford to do that. The areas where the money will be spent will be in safety services and public works, and the numbers are almost split. It's equally. It's $400,000 plus for the fire department, which has a new fire truck in their request, which is the biggest item. The public works area, which has a variety of things, maintenance on roofs and parking lots and mowers and things like that. And the police department, which has cruisers, 4 cruisers, and there's a major expense for some software that they need to track their crime stats. So it's about $400,000 each in those areas, and a total of about $1.3 million. There is a slide that I'd like people to see that does show how much we actually have spent on capital. You know, there's a small little slice on that slide that shows general fund spending, but the big piece is leverage money through grants, and those grants require an awful lot of work to obtain and even more work to keep track of and report on, particularly the block grant budget. You know, it's being trimmed back, but we still need to aggressively pursue and keep that department to enable us to continue to receive that money and to track it. If we lose that department, we will lose the ability to legitimately apply for, receive, and administer those funds. And we just can't afford to lose that.
The things like the fire truck, the new cruisers, excuse me, the software, the mowers, these are purchases that have to be made. They can't be put off any longer?
Oh, they can be put off. I mean, there are cities and local governments that are putting off everything.
And we've been putting stuff off for years, too.
Yes, we have. But, you know, as I think that chart showed, we have purchased most of our equipment, most of our capital by far. It's like 2 or 3 to 1, or 4 to 1, 5 to 1 in some years, has been done through grants. So, I mean, if you drive through Lima and you look at the condition of our streets, and if you look at our police cars are not new, but they are in at least as good a shape as most towns which are having financial problems. You know, our infrastructure, relatively speaking, has been, you know, I think better than just about any city. I mean, if you drive through Mansfield or Akron or just about anywhere, or Toledo, and it's like a moonscape going through some of those places. And things here are really in fairly good shape.
Tell us why we're in a position to be able to afford this.
Well, we have had continual budget cuts through attrition, and people have doubled up. You know, there's a slide here that shows in the development department, which gets the block grant money and administers a lot of grants, where they've cut their manpower by about half, but the amount of money that they're responsible for tracking has went from just a few $1 million to almost 17 million. And there's another chart that shows the responsibilities of code enforcement people. For example, the property maintenance people, they spend 60% of their time on property maintenance. They spend 40% of their time on other activities. So they've doubled up on their work effort with fewer people. And that is pretty much true throughout the city. In the fire department, they're running emergency ambulance services, you know, transporting people to the hospitals. That's an additional duty. Those guys are doubling up. We haven't reduced their manpower. We've kept their manpower steady, and in this year we've actually increased it. But, you know, through a reorganization in the department, they still have been able to reduce their overtime even with that increased workload. So, I mean, it is activities like that, efficiency improvements, which has enabled the city to do what it's done. You know, in my previous life in the private sector, you know, I was a consultant, not really primarily on the financial side, although I was a lead on a lot of financial projects. I was a general management consultant, and there were considerable reviews of all operational activities. It wasn't just refining and oil. I mean, we had cities to manage, we had utilities, we had water and sewer and electricity that we managed for an entire country. And you know, that required a lot of management reviews and efficiency improvements. It was just ongoing all the time. And that sort of thing on a much smaller scale is what has been happening in the city of Lima. And that's why we're in the condition that we are in currently.
So are we pulling out of the budget problem? Is this the first step that we're on the road to a recovery?
Well, we do have a balanced budget. There's a slide, an exhibit, which I guess we can put up on the screen, which shows we do have challenges, though, still remaining. We have the estate tax, which is going away in 2013, and we generally get $700,000 or so per year. Now, what we did in 2012 is I pulled back the estimate on that to $200,000, just to get us used to not having that money. But next year that goes to zero. We still have another cut in local government funds coming, which could be about $500,000. So, I mean, and there's a threat of a double-dip recession. We have what's going on in Europe. If Greece and Spain and Portugal and those countries default, that'll have an impact on U.S. banks and on the U.S. economy, and it'll impact us here too. So, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty out there, but we do have sufficient cash balance again to withstand that, which we did in 2008. This expansion that we're doing now with the capital would have happened in 2008 if the wheels didn't come off of the economy. So, but we did survive that without layoffs, and we can do it again. But, you know, if that should happen, we'll have to ratchet back on the capital purchases for 2013 and 2014. We also have a tentative plan to do a similar capital asset purchase in 2013 and 2014. But we know we have to wait until we get there.
You've put the request before City Council. Where does it stand at this point?
Well, there'll be a presentation to the Finance Committee Monday the 18th in the evening, and the Finance members will then make a recommendation to Council regarding the proposed purchase.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to know about this?
Well, we're moving forward, and you know, the city is managing its business well. And when I say the city, I'm talking about all the administrators and the employees. The employees have really contributed a lot. I mean, they are doing more work with fewer people, and they do deserve a lot of credit.
Okay. Appreciate you coming in today, Steve.
Thank you.
Steve Cleaves, Lima's Finance Director. I'm Anne Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.
He said he would let me play ball with the older boys if I did what he said. He said it would be our secret, and he'd beat me up if I told. And now, he wants another favor tomorrow. I just want to play ball.
Say no. Run away. Scream. It's okay to tell an adult you trust if someone is hurting you or making you uncomfortable. Feel safe. Feel strong. Feel free.
Come and discover Art Space Lima right here in downtown Lima. We're a world-class art gallery featuring works by local, regional, and national artists throughout the year. Beautiful works of art of all kinds, traditional and contemporary paintings, photographs, ceramics, and sculpture. Come and shop the beautiful and unique items for sale in the gift shop. We offer workshops taught by award-winning instructors so you and your kids can explore your creative side. Come and see what you've been missing. Discover Art Space Lima today.
Crime Stoppers is still active in the Allen, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Our goal is to assist area law enforcement officers to identify and locate individuals who have committed crimes. If you have any information about anyone who is responsible for committing crimes, please call Crime Stoppers at area code 419-229-STOP.
Crime Stoppers! Crime Stoppers! Make the call and pays! Crime Stoppers!
We're back on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker, and Chris Fetzer is in the studio today from the Johnny Appleseed Park District, and they are celebrating their 40th anniversary. It's June 28th, and you've actually got the celebration coming up on the Saturday night following, June 30th.
Yes, June 30th.
What do you have planned for us?
Well, we're keeping it a little low-key this year. 40 years is a long time to be in business, and what we'd like to do is celebrate with everyone in the community. Anyone's invited to come. We've got some cupcakes as a giveaway and some lemonade, and then we also have the Hallelujah Saints Band coming for our regular Saturday night amphitheater programming. And they'll be playing. They have quite a following, so we're expecting quite a few people to come out.
And for those who haven't been to the amphitheater, this is at Ottawa Metro Park, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. You've got some giveaways, too.
Yes, we've got some Frisbees we're going to give away just to celebrate the addition of our extra 9 holes in the disc golf course.
Yeah? Is that getting a lot of use?
Yes, it is. There's a lot of people out there all the time, families and young kids.
So if you are into Frisbees or you've never tried disc golf, it's golf with Frisbees.
Right, and there's some specialized discs that you can go and buy. But you can also just use a Frisbee and go out and have some fun. There are rules to it, It's like regular golf, but with your hands.
What time do all the festivities start?
We start at 6 o'clock, and it will be back at the amphitheater. We'll be starting with our cupcakes, and we'll have a few speeches, and we'll give the giveaways away.
Okay, you know, make a day of it. Bring your fishing rod and your swimming suit and hang out on the beach and fish in the lake and just enjoy the place.
Yeah, come out to the beach. It's supposed to be another nice, hot Saturday.
It is.
Yeah.
The Park District has changed dramatically over 40 years. You want to tell us about some of the changes you've made?
Well, we started out at Heritage Park out on Reed Road, and we would have a few festivals a year out there and some get-togethers. And then we, through Kevin Haver, our director's careful financial budgeting, we would add extra parks, extra land. There's been quite a few parks added. We're up to 12 now. Go from Bluffton clear down to Fort Amanda. We maintain those. Pretty small staff. The staff levels have risen slowly over the years. There's 13 of us. And
not a lot for 12 parks, really.
Right. Through a lot of careful budgeting and really wise choices, we've been able to maintain these and keep things up.
When you talk about the parks, how many visitors are coming through there every year?
There's over 40,000 a year.
No kidding. That's an incredible number.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing about the parks, as opposed to maybe the city parks, the Park District tends to remain natural. You don't do organized activities so much.
Right. It's not, well, with the addition of the disc golf, you know, we get a little bit, but we don't have any, like, competitions or anything out there.
Right.
We don't have any open recreation lands like soccer fields and things like that. It's more for the natural use of the land, more for conservation.
Okay. And for those who do want to explore the parks, you do have regular activities that bring people out into them. I know you've got all kinds of stuff coming up this summer.
Yes, we do. We always have a busy summer planned. The naturalists always have their day camps during the summer. And if you get on our website, which is jamp.com, you can check out the day camps that are coming up, and have to have your children registered so we know who's coming. And they're broken down into age groups. There are some quite fun ones this year. Actually, there's some going on right now. There's some almost every week of the summer. We always have our Saturday night amphitheater programming, which is set up by me, and I try and have you know, some family events, some more just singers, songwriters, musicians. And we had the Toledo Zoo out. That was packed.
Oh, I bet.
So I've got a musician, or a magician coming up in August, and that'll be fun. We've got Chris Rollins coming back from Allwood, Arboretum down in Dayton, and he does a wonderful job. Everyone really likes him. So we just have, you know, it's free entertainment. Just come out and enjoy the evening.
And this is at Ottawa Metro Park every Saturday night?
Every Saturday night, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. You can't beat that.
Not at all.
What about regular hikes or bike rides or things like that?
Well, we've got some organized bike rides coming up. We have one in June, July, and August. We're starting at Ottawa Metro Park, riding to Heritage Park and back.
Long ride.
Yes.
I did almost that far Saturday, and it took almost an hour to do it.
Well, if you only ride the Riverwalk, it's 18 miles, or it's like 17.7. But it takes, I'm counting on about 3 hours, just in case we stop and see something cool we want to look
Sure,
at.
and you do have to stop and look at stuff. You know, I was amazed. It was the first time I'd taken that much of the Riverwalk in at once, and you get a whole new perspective on Lima when you're riding right along the river there.
I particularly like to ride the bridges over east of 75.
Oh, the railroad tracks?
Yes.
That's cool. And you go right by the quarries if you've never gotten a close-up look at the quarries?
Exactly.
You know, this is your opportunity to do it.
Yep. We'll be leaving, just check the website again. We'll be leaving. I would like people to register for that so we know if we have less than 6 people, we will probably cancel.
Okay, but I'm sure you'll get more than that for an opportunity like this.
Yes. It's not often that you get an organized bike ride like that at a leisurely pace. It's not we're not up for a road race.
Right. If people are interested in shelter reservations for this summer, are the shelters still available?
Yes, there's still some shelters. They fill up really fast. Every once in a while, we have one drop out. So if you would like to call the office at 419-221-1232, you can talk to Ann or Denise, and they will set you up with a shelter reservation.
Okay, and one more time, give us date, time, and place for your 40th anniversary celebration.
40th anniversary celebration will be at Ottawa Metro Park Amphitheater, Saturday, June 30th at 7, starting at 6, and the music starts at 7.
Okay, we'll see you there. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed this.
You're welcome. Chris Fetzer from the Johnny Appleseed Park District. I'm Anne Decker, and this is Community Focus.